The fears and the frustrations of all of that lack of freedom and lack of margin with my capital came, my parents were growing up with my mom, came flooding back. And all of a sudden I'm facing these challenges and I'm going, oh my gosh, is this going to, hurt my marriage and hurt my family, And so that kind of drove me to look at strategies, because at the same time, my clients who had made $1, $5, $10, $20, $30 million of wealth, built up portfolios of $50 million of apartment complexes, and some of them are losing half or everything. And I'm looking around going, well, there's got to be a solution for that.
When they form a deferred sales trust, they have a trustee, which happens to be you. And so I think you're a very important piece to the strategy. And today with our whole team, you drilled in the mission statement that capital gains tax solution exists to unlock capital gains, to release freedom and impact for our clients. So can you explain to the listeners why that's the most important thing for your company?
Yeah, it's literally everything that we're about, and it started out for me. I got to start with my family at a young age, in real estate wealth, in the Bay Area, doing great. Everything was doing really well for a number of years. And then until it wasn't, until my parents got divorced at a young age. And I saw the direct result of what a divorced family, where my dad wasn't paying child support for my mom and I and my brother who were living, and we went from both sides, right? We would go to my dad's place, and we had the Harleys, the boats, the camping, the went to Disneyland. We do all the cool things, and Dad was great. He loved us, and he kind of spoiled us, and he taught us to work really hard. And he was an entrepreneur, so I love my dad. But he and Mom didn't get along, and so we go back to Mom's house, and we couldn't afford the car. Right, we're living with my grandma. We were, let's just say, lower middle class, right, if you will. And we didn't know the difference. But what really the point was, we saw how wealth can separate families, right, and cause that division. And so for me, looking at the deferred sales trust and even just wealth and helping people with real estate has a deep thing that I never wanted wealth to come between myself and my family, right, and my kids and my marriage and all of that. Everything was kind of my world was that. And in fact, in 2008, the market crashed, and I found myself like at a place where I'd been very successful in school and basketball scholarship at college and had a great internship that turned into a full-time career at Marcus & Millichap. But I was flat on my back financially and didn't know what to do. And all of a sudden the fears and the frustrations all start bubbling up, and I'm newly married and trying to be an adult, right? Try to really be, an adult with my wife, and we have a baby on the way. And all of a sudden we're going, oh my gosh, what are we going to do here? We're not making much money. And so at Marcus & Millichap, making these cold calls and trying to figure it out. I'm also working side hustles at a place called Cheesecake Factory. But the fears and the frustrations of all of that lack of freedom and lack of margin with my capital came, my parents were growing up with my mom, came flooding back. And all of a sudden I'm facing these challenges, and I'm going, oh my gosh, is this going to, hurt my marriage and hurt my family, And so that kind of drove me to look at strategies, because at the same time, my clients who had made $1, $5, $10, $20, $30 million of wealth, built up portfolios of $50 million of apartment complexes, and some of them are losing half or everything. And I'm looking around going, well, there's got to be a solution for that. So they're going through these two things. I'm going through mine. They're going through theirs. And that's when I learned about the deferred sales trust. And it became very clear that if this is true, if this is the Netflix or the Blockbuster, this can make the changing of the real estate industry forever, right? It's no longer just 1031 exchange. It can be freedom. It can be flexibility. And it can make a huge difference for families, right, who do feel trapped in some way by the property, by the toilets, by the trash, by the liability, by the timing of the market, by the debt, by the banks, by the rent control, by partnerships, by certain assets that don't work for capital gains tax. And that's when it began the journey of just sharing what could be possible. And I was cautiously optimistic, right? I was asking the same questions. Is it too good to be true? Will this ever work? How many people have really done it? What are the closed deals? But then I just start closing all the deals. And now we have all the deal closes, and I start seeing the transformation for these families. I start seeing the transformations for for the freedom and time and energy. And so here we are now. We've tried to express and share as much as we can in our book, right here, building a capital gains tax exit plan, and our YouTube channel, Capital Gains Tax Solutions, and with our clients to kind of build kind of a movement here. And so again, we exist to unlock capital gains, to unleash or unlock freedom and impact, right? And freedom is different for everybody. It could be that freedom of margin for your time and energy with your family. It could be the freedom to be able to give to causes you believe in most. It could be the chance to move out of California, move out of a partnership. We had clients, 4 clients that they build car washes, and they each wanted to have their own trust, or one of them actually wanted to pay his tax. He pays tax. He's a small owner. The other 3 wanted to build their own trust to get some flexibilities and diversification. So it's different for everybody. And that's the cool part. I mean, we look at this business sort of like in a Rubik's Cube. I think I usually have that around here, where each situation is a little bit different, but we really want to drive home that it can unlock the transformational exit planning versus just transactions. And that's hopefully that answers the question, Dan. That's the best I got today on a Friday.
Yeah. Hey, that was fantastic. And, I think for anyone listening, getting to know you a little bit is very important, because you do become the trustee. And one of the reasons I joined you is because I've known you since you were 14, and I have great trust in you, but also meeting your clients and seeing the relationship and the freedom and impact that you're releasing in their life through Capital Gains Tax Solutions, something I wanted to be a part of. So thank you very much, Brett.